Welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly neighborhood internet show all about premium cigars.
We now define it as an internet show
It is
instead of your favorite show.
No, show. Yeah, I guess we can do both. It's on YouTube, so, and Facebook Live.
I know. I just miss being on television.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Did you guys turn your mics on? 1 and 2?
My mic is not on.
I mean, we actually pick it up, but it might help.
Mine's on.
Not now. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, there we go. Technical difficulties.
What are you doing? Your microphone's on the.
Mine's are on.
Yeah, everybody else is good.
Actually, the sound sounded better on online than it did on television.
Yeah.
So
That's an editing issue.
yeah. So today we are smoking the Rocky Patel Sungrown Maduro. This was the number 2 cigar of the year.
Number 2 cigar of the year in 2016.
2016. It's been a while since I've had this cigar. It's a very good cigar, though. It is severely box pressed.
Severely?
Yeah.
Sharply.
It's sharply box pressed.
Yes, indeed it is.
Feel
And
that
it
edge.
is,
Feel that edge. You can feel. It feels like you can cut
you
it.
can shave with it.
Yeah. It's
Well,
crazy.
you know, when they do
The
box
edges are
pressing,
sharper than the Marine's creases.
Yeah.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
It's especially sharp when there's a straight vein that runs right along the edge.
That's exactly what that is. It's a vein.
Yep.
You can feel it.
That's actually a perfect way to get a neat box press.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Perdomo used to have severe box press. Remember? They looked almost flat.
Yeah, but those were those black cigars.
They were the,
Blackety black
what were they
black.
called? Come on. I know what they're called. I forget.
Blackety black cigar.
No.
I forget too. You don't see them around much
Well,
anymore,
they're not-
that one.
No, not La Traviata. That's a general cigar. La Tradicion.
Yes, La
La
Tradicion.
Tradiciones. Back in the early aughts.
Black as could possibly be.
Yeah. They were delicious though. They had all kinds though. They had Maduro, well, obviously the Maduro. They had the Connecticut. They had the Cameroon. They were delicious cigars.
I don't think they had a sun grown in that cigar.
I don't know. So, but
Well, on paper, this is a very straightforward blend that sounds a lot like some other cigars. It's a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper. Why they call it sun-grown Maduro, I'm not exactly sure. It's got a double binder, both of which are Nicaraguan.
okay.
And the filler is all Nicaraguan, but if you look at the cigar on end before you light it, and
Too
before
late.
you drop it,
Too late.
there's got a lot of Lajero in here.
Okay.
So this ought to be a pretty full-bodied cigar. And they say it is.
Okay.
Now I'm going to steal your lighter. Because if I don't smoke something.
You can borrow it. Can't steal it. It's a really good cigar. Have you had this before?
No.
Really?
Nope.
I had it when it first came out, but that's
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, 8 years. Getting a toastiness from it. To start.
Now, I'm not sure whether this is one of the Rocky Patels made in his factory or one of the Rocky Patels made by Nestor.
I'm not sure. I want to say his factory.
I want to say that too, but I'm not positive, so I don't
Yeah.
want to say anything.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
It's actually the same factory.
Rocky has his own in Nicaragua,
Oh, Nicaragua, yeah. I've never been to that one. I've been to the one in Honduras.
and that's the one that he kind of bought from Plasencia.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, kind of, sort
Kind
of.
of, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, way back in the day, when the Edge first came out, after 6 months of selling the Edge, and at that time, Nestor was making the Edge. Actually, he had hundreds of thousands of them sitting. And Rocky Patel took them and made a brand out of it. And then Nestor cut the supply off. And after a few months of no supply, he told Rocky the only way you can get a steady supply is if you have your own factory making it. So he sold Rocky a factory, but what he really sold him was just a building. The rollers were still Nestor's, the tobacco was still Nestor's, all the equipment was still Nestor's. Rocky just bought basically an empty building. And he bought it for an amount of money that would be considered ludicrous in a country like Honduras. Like a couple of $1 million for an empty building.
But it is still, I mean, that's where they make the cigars.
It is where they make the cigars, and at least officially, it's a Rocky Patel factory.
Yeah. It says, I was there. It says Rocky on the building.
Well, for $2 million, you should at least be able to put your name on it.
Naming rights. Yeah. Can't do that in sports. You got to pay a lot more than $2 million.
Well, you could sponsor the basketball court in my development for less than that. and I'll put your name right on the blacktop.
Is this your house? I'll give you $10.
It's more than I deserve.
What are you gonna do? Paint on it? Who plays it? You don't have any kids at home.
No. It's in my development. It's not at my house.
Oh, I thought it was at your house.
It's like 100 yards away from my house.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to paint,
And actually,
paint it in such a way that when he gets up in the morning and has his cigar, he can stand at the bedroom window and look down and see your name on the court.
yeah, there you go. It is kind of interesting that they have a basketball court there because it's a 55 plus community and the average age in there is about 80.
Wow.
So I don't know
Who's
that
playing
I've ever
basketball?
seen anybody play basketball there. There's
Wow.
there's a lot of pickleball, a little bit of tennis. Nobody plays basketball.
Well, there's not as much running around in pickleball.
Well, I
probably
think
why
that's
they-
why it got popular.
Yeah.
I mean, at my age, we are by far the youngest people in the development.
Wow. Huh. I've never played pickleball. Although,
Somebody officially started sponsoring professional pickleball.
oh yeah, I've seen
yeah,
that.
I've
Yeah,
seen-
yeah,
I forget who, some big brand
yeah.
of something.
I'm not-
Maybe Wilson Sporting Goods or somebody like that.
If you can play it, someone will sponsor it. I actually saw it was on ESPN, and I saw them playing tag. There was a professional tag tournament, and these people, it was crazy. It was tag. I mean, there's all
Regular
different.
ESPN or the Ocho?
I think I don't. You know what? I don't know if it was the Ocho or not. It's on August 8th.
You know what sport used to be on TV? Well, sport. You know what event used to be on TV and it was kind of cool and it just disappeared?
What's that?
Flying drone races.
I never saw that.
They had races and they did it in cities. So the drones were flying between buildings and up and down streets, and it was kind of like Formula One, except it was drones.
Wow. No, I
It
never
was
saw
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then it went away.
Until you crash and somebody gets hurt.
Crashed into somebody's window.
Or they needed all the drones to send them over to Ukraine
Yeah.
to fight in the war.
You know, crash into a building at, on the 50th floor.
I always wanted to do a drone race as an event here at the store.
That's
You know,
no
get
way.
a couple of drones, go out in the parking lot and have races.
That's no way to talk about your fellow employees.
That's true.
Well, we sent most of the drones off to other stores, or at least one of them.
How is King of Prussia doing?
Gee, I don't know. It wasn't me that got sent there, thank God, for small things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got sent here.
What's wrong with here?
Never mind.
Would you rather be in Quakertown?
Supervisory folks are the issue.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think of the cigar, Moose?
So far, so
Oh, you're
good.
smoking the Churchill.
Yes, I got the church.
What do you think? Good?
Definitely give it a 4 on the power scale. I think.
Wow.
It's smooth though. It's not like just raw power.
Right.
I'm getting some cocoa early on and a bit of earthiness.
Right.
So I'm surprised at how little pepper there is.
Yeah, I don't get
Yeah.
any pepper at all. With all the Lajero, you would
You
think.
would think,
Yeah, and you think it would be harsher, like you're saying. It is very smooth.
because Nicaraguan Lajero tends to be pretty
I
heavy.
mean, the description would lead you to believe it's a 5,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
but it's not.
No. Oh man, am I shaking today? If I'm lucky, I'll find my mouth.
I am getting the cocoa also.
It's the part under your nose that flaps too much.
You know, I
you're
can
Scott.
always count on you to make me feel better about almost anything.
If you're Scott, yeah. Where is Scott today?
Out in the fields.
On special assignment.
Yeah.
An adverse reaction to his medical procedure yesterday.
Really? What medical procedure
Yeah, I
did he
didn't know
have?
he had a medical procedure.
Shingle shot.
Oh, really? Ugh.
Shingles doesn't care. At least that's what they say on
That's what the
TV.
commercial says. Doesn't care. I've had shingles, man. That
Me
is
too.
not fun.
Nope.
It is not fun. It's like somebody's branding you with an iron 24 hours a day.
Yes, sirree.
Phew, yeah.
And of course, it mostly happens to older people who
does,
have
you know, but
no
you know-
tolerance to it.
That is correct. But I had it when I was 21 or 22 years old. And
That's unusual.
it is very unusual. That's what the doctor said. He goes, "You have shingles." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like,
Why?
"Yeah." He goes, "It usually happens to older people, that over 50." And I'm like, "Okay,
I got it exactly on schedule when I was
50,
50.
did you?"
Yeah.
Rob, you're just an old soul.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't know why I got it, but I mean, everybody has it. It's like, it's a herpes virus, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's actually the chickenpox virus.
Right. Yeah.
But after you have chickenpox, it goes to sleep, but it stays in your body. And where it lives is actually in your nerves. So it goes dormant and sits in your nerves, and when it wakes up, instead of giving you chickenpox, it starts eating on your nerves, and that's why it hurts so much.
Ooh, nasty.
So basically, anybody that's ever had chickenpox has
Right.
the shingles virus in them. Unfortunately, the shingles vaccine does not prevent chickenpox. It only prevents the shingles version of it when it wakes up.
Right. Well, usually you get chickenpox when you're a kid.
Yeah, and then you forget about it until you're 50, and then you get shingles.
Right.
I heard soaking yourself in a bathtub full of Jack Daniels will take care of the burning and itching.
Well, you got to have a straw if you're going to do that.
Yeah, so you can lay in there and breathe.
No, so you can suck up a whole
Just
bathtub
open your
full
mouth
of
if you're
Jack
laying in the
Daniels.
bathtub, just lean over. And,
I would not suggest that. Doing that. We are not doctors.
That's an expensive bath.
They would be. Yeah.
well, what a way to go.
I guess you wouldn't want it on the rocks in that case, unless you're doing that cold immersion stuff,
Yeah, really.
which is definitely not for me.
No. So what do you think of the cigar? We said
I
I'm-
find it much lower on the power scale than I would have expected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go 4. I'd go 3.5.
Yeah.
Maybe even just 3. It's just not. It's not a powerhouse. It's got a lot of flavor, and I get the cocoa-ish notes. I get the earthy notes. I also get it's very toasty.
Also, I said it's toasty. It's nice. I like the cigar. I always forget about it, because it's been around for like 8 or 9 years. But it is a tremendous cigar. I
You
really
know what
like
it makes me think of? It kind of reminds me of a Liga Privada without the power.
Yeah, kind of.
Without the pepper that the Liga Privada has.
Right.
But the underlying flavor notes I think are very similar. And this is probably a much easier cigar to get a hold of.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, yeah. It is a tasty cigar. And it's Nicaraguan.
What
not
could be
good?
bad?
Yeah, what could be bad about that?
Connecticut broadleaf on Nicaraguan is like just
Yeah.
classic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's interesting to me, it's a fairly tight draw, not too tight, but fairly tight, and it still puts out, excuse me, a ton of smoke.
And the draw is very easy, at least on mine.
Yeah.
My favorite blend of Nicaraguan tobacco and Connecticut broadleaf used to be, that you're going to laugh at me for this, was the J.C. Newman Alcazar.
Right.
And that's a budget cigar.
Why would we laugh? You love that cigar, and you've said so for decades.
I loved it. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They changed the wrapper on it. I guess because it's easier to get. I don't even know what they changed it to, but it's no longer a Connecticut broadleaf.
It's probably Mexican.
Well, it's not a San Andreas wrapper. I know that.
You sure?
But I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure because I would like that too. It may be Brazilian. I don't know.
I don't think it's Brazilian. Now I can't say for now. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know what they changed it to, but it's no longer Connecticut broadleaf. And that was one of my favorite cigars. And it was only like the number one. It was like almost like a double Corona or a Churchill. It was only like $4. It was inexpensive, but
And it was all long filler. It wasn't like
I know it was long. It was a regular cigar. I mean,
it wasn't a pseudo cigar.
if you would have put it on the table and not known the price, you would think it would be a much more expensive cigar than it actually is. It was
Speaking of
tremendous.
which, what does this cost? Do you know?
Oh, unless you got them out of the box. Do you know what they are?
Between 12 and 13.
Is it? Okay.
Well, for the Churchill.
No.
The Roostos,
So
obviously.
10, 11
Probably
probably.
10, 11, yeah.
Not crazy.
No.
Not cheap, but not crazy.
Moose, what would you pair with this, liquor-wise?
Liquor-wise, I would go with Jack Daniels. Their Barrel Select Rye.
Really? You would smoke a rye with this? Or drink a rye with it?
Yeah, I think it would pair nicely.
Yeah?
Yeah, they'd spice in the rye. And
Would make up for the
Lack of
non-spice
spice,
in the
yeah.
cigar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the good thing about it, it comes in at barrel strength, so it comes in anywhere between 125 and 140.
Wow. I got to get me some of that.
Oh yeah, I'm going. It's an annual special release, so they only come out with it a couple of times a year.
Okay.
And it's called Barrel Proof Rye.
Single barrel proof rye. Yeah, see, that's the name of it. Single barrel proof rye.
Okay. What about you?
Well, I was thinking, actually, before I even lit this up, I was thinking that based on the description, something really potent as far as flavors. So I went with you're going to hate this, I went with a high peat scotch, a single malt scotch. And actually, the highest peat scotch there is comes from the Brulati. I know if you saw that written, you'd never be able to pronounce it, but it's Brulati, and it's called Octomore. I'm not sure why. We were speculating earlier that since Octa is 8, maybe it has 8 times as much peat as other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy peat, and ironically, the Brulati distillery was best known for having peatless scotch, even though they're what's called an Islay scotch from the islands. They were best known for peatless. And then they came out with this Octomore line,
Right.
and it's the king of peat.
King of peat.
The king of peat. So it's very, very smoky, which actually works well with the toasty flavors in this. But it's also got some background flavors that are kind of interesting, like tart berries and raisins, and a little bit of butterscotch, which is nice. It's got a long, smoky finish, which, if you're not into peat, is a nightmare. But if you're into peat at all, is pretty good. And just to keep things interesting, it's 123 proof.
Oh, wow, that is interesting. What about beer? Would you, what beer would you?
Let me think about that.
Well, you think about it. Moose, what beer would you, expecting something unusual, but we know what it's going to be?
Guinness!
Yeah. That's just a regular
The regular black cans.
stout?
Yeah.
Guinness stout?
Stout or the draft. It comes in cans, the big cans.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
That's it? Guinness.
Guinness.
It's Guinness.
All right, so there's a beer. Well, there's a distillery called Flying Dog. It's not Dogfish. It's
Where is that, do you know?
I'm not. I think they're California, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
All of the artwork on the bottles is done by Ralph Steadman, if you know who he is.
I don't.
He illustrated, what's that called? The famous book about Las Vegas that got made into a movie.
Leaving Las Vegas?
No, the other one. Fear and Loathing
Fear
in
and
Las
Loathing.
Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
All of the
Hunter
illustrations.
Thompson.
Yeah, all of the illustrations in the book were done by this Ralph
Okay.
Steadman. And there's one in the lineup called Raging Bitch. It's an IPA. It's about 11%. And what's distinctive about it is it's slightly peppery, which you don't often get in a beer. But just as Moose was saying before, the pepperiness of that really goes with the lack of pepper in the cigar.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't call it a lack of pepper. It's just not as pepper as we thought it was going to be.
I don't get any
I don't
pepper,
get any
at
pepper
all.
at all.
I'm getting a little bit.
Are ya?
Hardly any. Considering there's a Nicaraguan in there.
Yeah.
And La Jarro, you would think
You would think, but it
that'd
is.
be really peppery, but it's not. But I still get a little pepper.
Yeah, I get no pepper at all.
None at all. I'm thinking that the double binder was chosen to tamp down the flavors a little bit instead of boost them up. And that's why this isn't as strong as it would seem and why it isn't peppery at all.
It does have a lot of taste.
Great flavor.
Yeah, it's a really good cigar. And you know,
There's also a creamy note under here somewhere.
I'm not getting that at all.
Well, the flavors are coating my tongue quite well, so maybe,
They are?
maybe he's right about the
Yeah.
creaminess.
Every time I go in the humidor to try to find something to smoke, I always look at this and say no. I don't.
And why is that?
I don't know, because it's such a great cigar.
It is really
I
good.
should stop overlooking it. Another one like that is the El Rey del Mundo.
Oh, great cigar.
It is a great cigar, and it's another one that's overlooked because it's been around.
And it used to be one of the top selling cigars around.
Absolutely, and it's just because it's been around so long, people just forget about it, and they shouldn't because
You
they're
get a
very
tissue when you're done.
Yeah.
and
right.
you can blow your nose.
Right, exactly.
Or wipe, well, no.
Wipe the tears away.
Well, I wasn't thinking tears. I was thinking wiping something, but
Only if your head's up there.
And that cigar is inexpensive also. That's only like $7, less than $8.
and I don't think they've messed with that blend over all
No.
the years it's been around.
No, that's a really good cigar, but it's very, very overlooked. Maybe we should smoke that on the show sometime.
I think that would be a great blind taste test cigar.
Well, can't do it now. You can't do it. First of all, you can't do it because of the tissue on it.
Well, you'd have to take it off.
But it's so dark.
It wouldn't be.
It is really dark.
But it's not.
And toothy.
You would think, yeah, it's very toothy, but you would think because it's so dark, it'd be a lot stronger than it is.
Yes, and
No,
it's
it's
not.
a very smooth cigar.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very smooth, very tasty, a bit of sweetness to it.
I think we should do that next week.
You know, it's also interesting talking about El Rey del Mundo. They've, in the last couple of years, had several spin-offs.
The AJ.
Made by AJ, the natural wrapper one. There's one with a weird name that I don't remember.
One that begins with an S?
Well, I can't remember
think so.
S. Can we say that on the air? I can't remember shit.
Just say it. Say whatever you want.
I think you just said it.
I did.
Did it feel good?
It doesn't
Don't
feel
forget.
good to not be able to remember shit.
Don't forget, we're not on TV anymore, so you
So I can say what I want.
Say whatever you want.
Holy shit, I can say anything.
Yes. I think we should do that next week.
Okay.
So next week, if you guys want to smoke what we're smoking, we'll smoke the El Rey de Mundo
There you go.
Ascaro with the tissue paper. It's very, very good. So,
Used to be one of my top 5.
was it
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
It is. But again, it is an overlooked. Would you stop doing that? It distracts me. I can't not look at it. That's just hanging there, man.
The air in here is not moving a bit.
And it's getting bigger. Look at it. Holy crap.
Now,
You can drive a truck through it.
I wish I could be like, what's his name in the Lord of the Rings, where he blows a smoke ring and then he blows another one that looks like a ship and it sails
Yeah,
right through the
it,
smoke.
yeah.
But I can't do that.
The first smoke ring you could do, the ship, I don't know.
The retrohale on this is also
Now,
really
you look
good.
like you're sending smoke signals to
I
the
know.
fellow Indians down the trail for the cavalry.
I know. Yeah, the retrohale is very tasty.
Yes, I like it. Not as sharp as some retrohales are, so it doesn't burn your nose on the way out.
I'm getting a nuttiness through the retrohale. I don't know about you.
Yes, I do. Almond paste all the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very distinctive.
it's very tasty. I like it.
This is a great cigar. Is there anything new from Rocky lately? Other than their $100 cigar, which we don't even need to talk about?
The Dark Star, the Rocky Dark Star. I just ordered it. It should be in hopefully. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Probably early next week.
The buzz on that is really good.
Yeah. I have not had it yet. So
Wasn't Scott talking about that last week?
he was talking about it last week. He has it in Doylestown. We haven't gotten it for our stores,
Excuse me.
but we will be getting it. So we'll try that. Maybe we could try that in a couple weeks.
When we have
Probably,
it.
yeah, probably. It might be here by next Wednesday, but we've already said we're doing the El Rey. But we could do that the following week.
Okay, I have a question that's on everybody's lips.
Okay.
When are we getting the, I know we ordered them, but when,
They're already. There's been a problem with them. I don't know. You're talking about the Amazon basin.
how did you know?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
There's a problem?
I don't know. Something's going on. I saw the invoice for it like 2 weeks ago, and they said they were shipping it out. Now I don't know why we haven't gotten it yet.
They probably shipped them all to Florida,
They probably shipped them all to Florida. I don't know.
never to be seen again.
Yeah, and the real problem is that since it's an allocation and they only have so many, we're only getting 20 boxes, and that's just wrong.
Well, especially if Florida's getting the 20 boxes and we're not getting anything.
You know, stuff doesn't come up here from Florida, so.
I know. So if it went there, we're out of luck.
Yeah, so hopefully soon. Well, the good thing about it is other stores have it now. We'll be out of them, and we'll have them.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
You just have to go to Florida.
Well, we'll be getting ours, don't worry. I just don't know when. But I knew that's where you were going with that.
So my wife is going down to Sarasota next month.
Oh, she's going to stop in the store?
No, she doesn't have any interest in being anywhere near me or cigars.
Okay.
And she asked me if I wanted to come with her. She's hanging out with friends. And I said, what am I going to do down there? All I can do is hang out in the cigar shop, which would be fine with me. And she said, no. We're not paying for a ticket for you to go sit in a cigar shop when you could do that up here.
So you're not going?
So I'm not going.
That's just crazy.
Well, I mean, she
I
had.
wouldn't have said anything to her, and I would have gone. And then when I got down there,
I would have just gone to
Yeah.
the cigar store. Well, part of that has to do with the fact that officially, I don't smoke cigars anymore.
So that's CGI, what we see right now?
Yeah, that's it. It is.
I'm good.
It is. This is
The
totally.
figment of everybody's imagination.
This is a deep fake, and it tastes really good.
Did your doctor say don't smoke cigars anymore?
Well, my doctor has always said don't smoke cigars anymore.
So you don't listen to him.
No, but Mindy does.
But
You know,
said
when,
before,
when she finds you virtually dead on the floor, and then the doctor says you shouldn't smoke cigars anymore, it's kind of an
An issue.
upstream swim.
yeah, it's an
When
issue.
I had a heart attack, the doctor, the cardiologist says you got to stop smoking the cigars. I said, really? He says, yes. That's how I found another doctor.
Yeah.
And the doctor,
Well,
maybe
the
you can do that.
George,
Go
George
ahead.
Burns said something about that. He said his doctor told him to quit smoking,
Yeah, to jump
but his
across
doctor
it.
died like 20 years before he did.
George Burns.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. I liked his radio show. Did you ever listen to his radio
Burns
show?
and Allen.
Burns and Allen.
That was funnier than the TV show.
It was. She was a genius. She was very, very funny.
You know, it's always the one that plays the dumb one.
Yeah, I don't know.
That really knows what's going
Yes.
on.
I don't know how true this is, but it was in Wikipedia when I looked up George Burns. I went to see how old he was when he passed away.
100.
Right. There was a story about him and her. He cheated on her once,
Really?
and he was so sorry about it and everything like that, and they reconciled. But right after that, a new coffee table showed up. He bought her because she wanted one, so she got a new coffee table. And then many years later, she was entertaining, and he was walking around, and he heard her say, "I wish George would go cheat again. I need a new coffee table."
Her first of all, her voice is grating as hell, but she was a genius when it came to comedy. She was really, really funny. And that shows
Same with Lucy Ricardo. She played the dummy, but she was the genius behind
Yes.
the show.
Yeah.
Same with Tommy Smothers, who was the dumb brother, but he really
Right.
wasn't the dumb brother.
Right, exactly.
I don't
couldn't
know
say-
about Curly from the Three Stooges.
You couldn't say that about Lou Costello, though.
No, he really was the dumb. Wait a minute. Is there someone in this room that never saw the Three Stooges?
Yes. He's raising his hand now.
You may live in shame.
I don't know how you could be a man of a certain age
And never.
and never have seen the Three Stooges.
Sheltered life.
That is unbelievable.
I mean, I can remember
In
when I
fact,
was.
my parents made me stop watching it because I kept doing that stuff to my brother and sister.
I can remember as a kid going to the movies, and before the movie, there was always a Three Stooges short.
Yep. That's the problem with the Three Stooges, though. When they recorded those things, they were half-hour long,
Yeah.
and then when you see them now, it's like
Correct.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
They cut all the stuff out.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
I've been to not many, but multiple Three Stooges
Convention?
marathons,
Oh,
like in a theater. So, it's just so fun. It's like watching when I was a kid again, just watching the Three Stooges with no commercials though.
That's a real
Which is
plus.
a good thing. Yeah, I'd sit and watch 3-4 hours of the Three Stooges, and it's just so funny.
The only
problem
thing
is-
worse than the Three Stooges is the Marx Brothers.
That was comic genius.
They were funny. I mean, I didn't like them as much as the Three Stooges,
no.
but they were funny.
They were a little less slapsticky, and they
Yes.
tried to be more intellectual, but I'm not sure that worked.
That worked out. Yeah.
Intellectual comedy is an odd thing to do
If you're not
other than
if-
stand-up.
If you're not British,
One of the greatest lines was when he did that TV show. What's my?
You Bet Your Life.
Yeah, You Bet Your Life. And the lady was standing there, and she says, "So tell me about yourself." So my husband's a farmer. We got 6 kids, and we live in a farm. 6 kids, huh? He takes a cigar out of his mouth and says, "I like my cigars, but I take it out every now and then."
That's a good line.
Say the magic word, and a little pep comes out of the ceiling.
Exactly. But yeah, like except for the British, they're
Well, they do intellectual comedy really well.
yeah,
Monty Python.
like Monty Python, right?
Circus. Oh, God,
Or
that was
like,
great stuff.
what was that tower? Faulty Towers?
Faulty Towers, but that was John Cleese. So
John Cleese is funny even when he's not trying to be.
yes,
One of my
funniest movies.
favorite movies, it's a Western, is Silverado.
yes, he was in that.
And he was a
Yes,
sheriff
he
in that,
was-
and he was a bad guy.
Yes,
But he was still funny.
Yes, yeah.
yes, he was.
Was what they call Holy Grail.
Yeah, the Holy Grail.
That was great. But the other one was
Life of Brian.
yes,
That was funny.
the naked scene where he throws the shutters open and he's stark naked. And all
Yeah.
the people are standing out there.
Yeah,
And
that was
the Roman centurion comes running out of his mom's room.
that was funny. I liked John Cleese. He was on an episode of Cheers.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh,
Stop ruining my smoke rings.
So I can't, 'cause it's distracting. He was on an episode of Cheers. He played a psychiatrist. Or I think it was a psychiatrist or, yeah. And he was, Sam and Diane were going to him for counseling and stuff.
That's
And he said,
before
"You guys
what's his
should-"
name came in as
Yeah.
the psychiatrist?
Yeah. He said,
Kelsey
you
Grammer?
guys should never get married." It's like, yeah, he goes, "You should not only not get married, you should never see each
See
other."
each other again.
It was very funny. It was very
They
funny.
just had a reunion on the Emmys.
Of what?
The Cheers cast.
Did they?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, Woody Harrelson wasn't there though.
Woody and Shelley Long,
Really?
too, yeah. And Coach.
Obviously, Coach is dead.
He died during
So
the show,
who's
though.
yeah.
who's left? Well,
Everybody.
Ratzenberg, whatever his
Yeah,
name
George
was.
Wendt.
George Wendt.
I saw George Wendt in a play in Philadelphia, 12 Angry Men.
He was in that? Wow.
He was in it with John Boy, Richard Thomas.
Uh-huh.
It was really good. It was very good. So I was in that play, so when I was younger.
And one of the greatest movies of all time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I actually watched it again recently, so
It aged well.
it's my second favorite film of all time. It really is. And that's why I wanted to be in that play. So it was really good. And Richard Thomas played the what's his name? Stop it.
It's the fog on the wall.
Yeah. I lost track of what I was saying. He played the Henry Fonda character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and George Wendt was he played the foreman, the Martin Balsam
Oh,
character.
okay.
So
Every character was a winner in that.
oh, absolutely. I mean, every person went on to either huge fame or already was famous. Like Ed Bagley Sr. You know, he was great in that. It was just a great movie.
You know, Ed Begley Jr.'s
Yeah.
nephew manages our New Hope store,
What?
Mike Begley. And if you ask
That's
him,
his nephew?
if you ask him, because I did, are you related to Ed Begley Jr.? He said, yeah, he's my uncle and he doesn't give me any money. Which made me absolutely certain that it was true.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Celebrity in a cigar shop.
Wow, I didn't know that. Huh. I'll have to talk to him about
He
it.
doesn't look like him at all.
No, but he is tall.
Yeah, that's true.
Ed Bagley Sr. didn't look like he was that tall. But then again, he was sitting most of the time. Stop that. That's just unbelievable. It just yeah. So,
He looked like a puppy
yeah, we're watching it.
with a new toy.
Yeah. I see something shiny.
Just don't start wagging your tail.
All right, so let's put a rating on this. Since we're almost done.
Are we almost done? With
Yeah.
the cigar, you mean?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we can just end it whenever we want.
9.
Mike, you go first. A 9?
9. I like it a lot.
Paul.
I like it a lot. I did start to get that in this back half a tiny bit of pepper, which just makes it more interesting because all the other stuff is still going on. I give it an 8.9. 8.9.
8.9. I got it. I just got a real hit in the back of my mouth, like on the back of my tongue. A real buttery taste.
I've been getting that all along. That's what I call creamy.
Yeah?
The creaminess, the little butter.
No,
it
it's not-
smoothed everything out.
Yeah,
It's like
not
real
creamy.
butter. Like
Butter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
creamy.
in the back of my
I have
tongue.
it all over my palate.
Yeah, it's really nice. I give this a 9.25.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good. I'll probably start smoking more of these now. Because
Yeah, really.
They keep forgetting about them, and it's just, and they always sit there, and I look at the Rocky stuff, and I'm like, I'll have this Rocky instead, or I'll have that one.
Well, I'm going to start turning people that come in to ask for Liga Privadas to give this a shot.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think for someone who likes that, even though this isn't as strong as that,
Right.
I think they would find it a satisfying smoke.
All right. Well, there you go. So if you're out and about in your local cigar store and you don't have any Liga Privadas, and they have the Rocky Sungrown Maduro,
Give it a shot.
yeah, give it a shot. Absolutely.
And we have them here, so
We
if,
have them
if
here.
we're your local cigar store, drop on by.
That's true. So thanks for watching, and next week, don't forget we're going to smoke the El Rey de Mundo
Tissue paper.
with the
Smoke
tissue
them if you
paper.
got
Well, we're
Yep.
going to take it off.
We're going to take it off, and yeah,
Oh, we got to unwrap it? Damn.
yeah. Maybe we'll just leave
It
the
burns
end on
better.
and burn it. Thanks for
The
watching.
little
Smoke
twisty
off
part.
and
Ciao for
smoke
now,
happy.
everybody.
The little twisty part makes it easy to light.